What's a job that will probably never be taken by robots? Op over here trying to figure out his career. What's the easiest way to make $1 million? Reddit. Start with $1 million and invest it. Human slave chief representative to robot overlords. Sperm donor. I would say shit posting on Reddit, but then I met Bobby B and realized how worthless we are. Food critics. Hell. Any sort of critic who deals in subjective taste. Human footstool. Sure, you could have a robot footstool, but would its digital shame satisfy your lust for dominance the same way organic shame would? Just need to make the robot cry realistically. Village drunk. Bender already proved you wrong. Athletes. It wouldn't be nearly as fun to watch, because then they would be programmed for a specific outcome edit. Okay, I've seen all the comments about BattleBits. I'll check it out in the morning, because it's 2 AM. Comedian. If it's difficult for a neural net to get anything about humans right, it'll be our humor. It's transient, often not even transferable between cultures, etc. Notable exception for /r/shit robots. I'm imagining a robot sitting on stage doing a ventriloquist act with a doll he calls Chip as in micro. How do you know semiconductors are the dumbest constituent component within all of us? Because they are doped. Ha. 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 Choir teachers in Marquette, Michigan. What about in Auburn, Michigan? Politician. Ain't nobody letting robots delegate between countries. That's what they said before John Quincy adding machine. He struck a chord with the voters when he promised not to go on a killing spree. Therapy. You really just can't replace human-to-human interaction when someone needs help. Robots won't feel right when talking out how you feel and want to say. It just won't. Professional cuddler. Human touch releases oxytocin. I haven't seen the science on it, but my initial guess is that you don't get that same kind of comfort from a robot. Unemployed. I've got plenty of unemployed robots that just sit there all day. Gotician. AI generated gossip just wouldn't be the same. Yuck. I hate when people talk to me when I'm getting my hair cut. Please give me a robot in a day. Serving/waiting on rich people. The ego enjoys feeling the superiority. Human teachers. Kids need human interaction. Breaking news. Teacher found to have had intimate relations with student. Student claims I had to smash them robo cheeks. Could be automated. Any job. Will be. That's a different story. Somehow, I think politicians will be one of the last. Lobbyists. Society will always have decision makers, so there will always be people who make a living trying to influence them. The only jobs that robots will never do, except for jobs that won't exist anymore, are the ones that revolve around making particularly important decisions, such as being the CEO of a company, politician, etc. They will only assist these jobs. But there are some jobs that will never completely be taken by robots, those that are about human interaction, like therapist, and those that are about displaying your talent, like musician. Also, if movie actors are ever replaced, I think it will rather happen via hyper-realistic animation than via robots. Google AI composers/artists. It's pretty freaky. Stories and poetry are also on their way. I can also see therapy coming up at some point when human AI interactions are normalized. We find companionship with things like fish. Conversation bot humans relate to without fear of judgment isn't out of the question. Artisan handcrafted objects like jewels and various decorations. As functional objects have subjective, symbolic and transient value, the creator enjoys and gets fulfillment from the creating process and the final product. I think a softened emotional analog brain will always see the value in human art. This will never be made obsolete by automation, even if to some people it's subjectively more perfect. Human opinion, perspective and commentary as well in multimedia is a pressing force. The artsy messy explosive pathways of neurologic origin will forever have a place even if augmented. Accounting. The robots will probably have too much personality. It pains me to say this, but politicians. Maybe authors. I don't think robots would be able to write an emotional story, no matter how advanced the programming is. Edit. People seems to forget that I put maybe at the beginning of my post and have taken it upon themselves to correct me in any way possible. The maybe is there for a reason. Notice it. Game development. They can always get enough desperate people to almost work for free for exposure. Plumber. In fact, just about all the trades. Psychologists. No robot will ever be a human. Well, considering our brains are chemical computers, the only things that really make us able to do anything they can't currently is processing power and programming. So realistically, there is nothing that we can do that they eventually won't be able to do. So after that, it just comes down to preferences. What jobs would people prefer we had done by another person instead of a robot? Reddit moderator. Username checks out.